Welcome to this week's Sight for Wight Talking News for Friday the 30th of April 2021.
This is Den reading an article from Isle of Wight Radio. Unique willow handmade maze in Country Park wows the Isle of Wight. Islanders are being encouraged to visit, explore and engage with a new stunning willow handmade maze that is one of a kind in the UK. As part of a new project called the Golden Celebrations, Golden Hill Country Park in Freshwater has not only been improved with signage and the site maintained, it is now home to an incredible new, unique installation. Natural Enterprise, the charitable trust that owns the site, has 30 across the island, and islanders are invited to visit the 12-foot high maze. The willow structure has been made with island-sourced materials over a 2-week period by weaver and basket maker Eddie Glue and his team at Blythefield Willow, who cleverly crafted the masterpiece. Inspired by the hexagonal footprint of the original fort there, which is now in private hands, and using local willow coppiced from nearby Afton Marsh, this organic structure is not only visually striking, but it also invites investigation with twists and turns, lookouts and dens. The 20-hectare park in Freshwater, where it is located, offers spectacular views, large open expanses of grassland, wooded areas, ponds, guided nature trails, geocaching hunts, a community orchard, and now the wonderful willow maze. Eddie Glue says he was lucky to be asked to build it and spoke exclusively to the Isle of Wight Radio. It's about the fort, really. The fort has been taken back and is private, so we have this beautiful bit of land, so it was to represent the fort. Hopefully it does that justice and evokes the spirit of the fort. It is from the island, for the island, and hopefully just blends in. I don't think there is anything else like this in the UK, so it is one of a kind. He adds that there have been a fantastic response with children and adults playing in it and exploring it. The only one similar is one Eddie made in Winchester. There are hopes for another maze to be installed at another gift to nature site in future. Graham Biss, Managing Director of Natural Enterprise, told Isle of Wight Radio, "It has had a fantastic reaction, but why would it not? You only have to come and see it, smell it and touch it. We wanted it to be island sourced, so the willow has come from other parts of the island and we have been able to use it to create this fantastic structure. It has had such an impact. We would love to be able to raise the money to have another. We have 30 sites across the island and would love to put another one there." Vanessa Langley from our team came up with the idea of the maze, but actually what's special for me is that every member of the Natural Enterprise team has been involved in a very significant way. We couldn't have done this without the public, as we are a charity and they have been supporting us. So thank you to the public and my team.
Henry the Hero saves the day, from the Isle of Wight Observer, read by Chris. When COVID-19 struck his household, 2.5-year-old cockapoo Henry was not only man's best friend, but became a hero. Living with his human parents, Kerry Andrews, 49, a retail manager, and Paul Barrett, 47, an emergency vehicle operative for the Isle of Wight NHS Trusted Ambulance Service in Newport, Henry did something amazing when both adults had severe COVID symptoms. Contracting the virus earlier in the year, Paul became very unwell, experiencing insomnia on top of other debilitating symptoms. While Paul was isolating, Kerry had also become symptomatic and was very unwell. When Kerry was having an extremely terrifying shortness of breath episode, with Paul still unaware of how ill she was, Henry helped save the day. Paul said, "As I lay on my bed, scared and not feeling well at all, the bedroom door flew open and Henry burst in. He jumped up onto my bed barking. He tugged on my sleeve, jumped off the bed, barked at me again before running off. I don't know how I mustered up the energy, but I managed to follow him from my isolation room to our bedroom. Seeing how bad Kerry had become, Paul was able to use his pulse oximeter to help and comfort her through it, along with Henry, who had got as close to Kerry as he could. Now the pair are getting better, but still suffering from the lasting effects of COVID. The mischievous cockapoo will not leave their sides, Paul said. I'm not sure if we will ever be 100% again, but I am just happy that we are both still alive. As for our Henry, he is our hero. The amazing thing was, we never had taught him how to open a door. He had figured it all out by himself to come and get me.
Hello, this is Sue reading an article from the Isle of Wight Radio. Isle of Wight businesses celebrated as Queen's Awards winners. 2 Isle of Wight businesses have been given the UK's most prestigious business awards, the Queen's Award for Enterprise. In-Flight Peripherals Limited and Wight Shipyard Co Limited are among 205 winners announced today, Thursday, across the UK, which are celebrating the achievements of UK businesses following an incredible challenging year. In-Flight Peripherals in Kelbourne was given an award for outstanding performance improvements in the last 2 years. Wight Shipyard Co Limited in East Cowes was recognised for outstanding growth in the last 3 years. Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant Susie Sheldon will be presenting the awards to businesses locally throughout the year. This year, Queen's Awards for Enterprise are given for outstanding achievement in innovation, international trade, sustainable development, and promoting opportunity through social mobility. The awards were created following the recommendation of a committee chaired by His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh in 1965. The first awards, originally known as the Queen's Awards to Industry, were made the following year. Themed this year on promoting opportunity through social mobility, 18 have won awards in this category for helping disadvantaged people in their communities. In-Flight Peripherals Limited was founded in 1996 and specialise in the design and manufacture of passenger interface solutions to the global in-flight entertainment and connectivity (IFEC) industry. The company identified that a seat-back payment system would enable airlines to offer additional retail opportunities to its customers and hence make their seat-back systems a source of revenue. To address this need, they developed a patent contactless payment and personalisation device for use in commercial passenger aircraft to be installed as an addition to seat-back in-flight entertainment systems. This novel solution has enabled the possibility of placing a payment card industry compliant contactless payment and customisation device into the seat backs of passenger aircraft. Enabling installation into seat backs meant that the company had to develop a device that was low in weight and could withstand the complexities associated with aircraft, such as vibration frequency and electrical interference. IFPL founder and CEO Jeff Underwood said, "The aviation sector has been through a tough period recently, so being recognised as a company that is consistently working hard to create innovative products that will help operators to recover post-pandemic is a real boost. I'm so proud for the whole of IFPL family for this fantastic achievement." Wight Shipyard Co Limited is a specialised manufacturer of aluminium marine craft up to 50 metres in length based at East Cowes. The products are high-speed passenger ferries, tourist boats and commercial vessels for the wind farm support vessel market. The company was formed in 2016. Over 3 years, overseas sales have grown by £16 million, reaching a £16.3 million in the year to September 2019, with sales to Mexico, Malta and Austria. It is seeking to help revive British shipbuilding and is driving efficiencies while nurturing a new generation of shipbuilders to produce world-beating products for both domestic and international markets. The company employs 36 people and wants to retain the dwindling skill base of shipbuilders and also has 13 apprentices being trained. Peter Morton, Chief Executive of the Wight Shipyard Company, said, "We are delighted to receive this recognition. The overarching ambition was always to see a revival in British shipbuilding to compete on an international stage. To do so, we understand and drove the need for efficiencies whilst nurturing a completely new generation of shipbuilders in order to produce world-beating products for both the domestic and international markets." Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng said, "The past year has been a tough time for many businesses across the UK, which is why it is more important than ever to celebrate the achievements of our wealth creators and recognise the contributions they make to our communities. In the last 12 months, British businesses showed the entrepreneurial spirit that this country is renowned for, continuing to drive social mobility, find new markets to export to and produce innovative products and services. I congratulate this year's winners and I wish every business that applied for an award this year every success in the future as we build back better from the pandemic. Eligible businesses are free to apply for one of them or more categories. The winners passed a robust assessment process judged by senior officials in Whitehall and experts from industry, academia and the third sector. On that basis, each year the winners of the Queen's Awards for Enterprise are recommended by the Prime Minister.
This is an article from the Island Echo, read by Terry. Proposal to transform Ryde's candy store into a residential property rejected. Bland and poorly designed proposals to change a once popular sweet shop on Ryde High Street into a home have been rejected. The application submitted by MDJ Architectural Services has been refused by the Isle of Wight Council after more than 20 Ryde residents shared their opposition to the removal of shop space at the top of the High Street. Formerly the candy store, the shop closed at the start of March last year, and proposals looked to incorporate the retail floor space into the existing two-bed house behind and above the shop. It would have been turned into a toilet and study to accommodate home working as a result of the COVID pandemic. Part of the proposals would change the Victorian building's shop front to a more traditional appearance, according to planning documents, with sash-style windows and a regular front door. Among the objectors were Ryde Town Council, Ryde Society and Ryde Business Association, arguing there would be an adverse effect on the retail function, design, character, vitality and viability of the town centre. Ryde Town Council also said it would be inappropriate within a ground-level commercial location and would set a precedent for the change of use in the town centre boundary and in the Ryde Heritage Action Zone. One objector said it seemed a barbaric approach to rip out the frontage that has stood for years as an integral part of the history and view of the Upper High Street. Another said changing the frontage would destroy a very unique shop as well as a building's look. We need more small high street shops and encourage more people to shop. We need an active and vibrant high street, and having houses mixed with the shops just makes it look very odd and out of place. The Isle of Wight Council's planning officer's report said the proposal would be at odds with the surrounding shop fronts and significantly detract from the distinctive character and vitality of this part of the high street. They said the current historical and distinctive shopfront would be replaced by a bland, poorly designed ground floor elevation, which would be visually incongruous in the street scene. The council's planning authority rejected the application last week, but the applicants are able to appeal the decision to the Planning Inspectorate.
This is Den reading an article from the Isle of Wight Radio. More mental health support for new, expectant and bereaved mothers on Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight will be one of the first places in the country to roll out a new maternity mental health service. Southern Health NHS Foundation Trust is working alongside the island's current maternity unit to embed the new service. It is hoped a dedicated psychologist will provide specialist mental health support to new, expectant and bereaved mums. The island service already offers support to women experiencing anxiety and birth trauma support, but this will now be expanded to help mothers cope with loss. Patients will be seen by a psychologist online via a video call or in person at the maternity unit at St Mary's Hospital. Southern Health is one of 26 trusts to have been chosen as an national early implementer site. It means the island is one of the first places in the country to have this service. Dr. Hannah Wilson, perinatal lead consultant clinical psychologist, Southern Health NHS Foundation Trust, said, "At Southern Health NHS Foundation Trust, we are delighted to deliver the maternity mental health services to new mums across Hampshire and the Isle of Wight. We know historically and nationwide there has been a gap in pregnant women and new mums receiving the much needed specialist psychological support they need. We know the difference this is making to new mums and their families to be able to improve their lives for the better. When referred to the maternity mental health service, mothers will be offered a range of psychological support, including a tailored care plan that may include one-to-one support and or group therapy sessions. The service is expected to be rolled out in the near future, with it completely up and running by 2023-24.
National Gardening Week. Get yourself outside and start growing. From the Isle of Wight Observer, read by Chris. This is National Gardening Week, and the Royal Horticultural Society has released new research confirming what many gardeners already know, that gardening leads to improvements in well-being, reduces stress levels, and provides healthy physical activity. The study surveyed more than 6,000 people, and results show that those who garden regularly have well-being scores higher and stress levels lower than people who don't garden at all. The results are hardly surprising, as when we are gardening, our brains are distracted by the nature around us. We focus away from ourselves and the stresses in our lives, reducing negative feelings. And gardening is like effortless exercise because it doesn't feel as strenuous as going to the gym, but you can expend similar amounts of energy. Most people garden for pleasure and enjoyment, so the likelihood of getting hooked on the hobby is high, and the good news is that from a mental health perspective, you can't overdose on gardening. The 3 lockdowns have increased the importance of our gardens for most of us, as for many months it was our only opportunity to enjoy being outside. Many people have now discovered there's nothing like the joy of growing your own flowers or food, and garden produce is always welcome as a thoughtful gift. And initiatives like the Give Green Island Veg Economy Facebook group, who distribute free plants and are always available with advice and encouragement to make it all easier than ever. There's really no better time to get out and about and improve your little patch of the island.
This is Sue reading an article from On the Wight. Costs for Isle of Wight street lighting down by 39%. 6 years ago, the Isle of Wight Council spent £1.5 million per year on street lighting. 5 years later, it had gone down by 39%. Over the past 5 years, hundreds of thousands of pounds have been cut in the Isle of Wight Council's street light spending, without a reduction in the number of street lights on the island. Figures from the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government show in 2019 to 2020, the council spent £926,000 on street lighting costs. In 2014 to 15, however, the year after the Isle of Wight Council started the Highways PFI contract, the council spent £1.5 million, a real terms cut of 39%. The council says there has been no reduction in the number of street lights on the island. Across England in the same period, street light spending only fell 15% in real terms. It comes after calls to make streets safer for women following the murder of Sarah Everard last month in London, who disappeared while walking home from a friend's house. The government said at the time it was taking immediate steps to improve security, including doubling the Safer Streets Fund, which provides neighbourhood measures such as better lighting and CCTV to £45 million. Nessel Kaliskan, chair of the Safer and Stronger Communities Board at the Local Government Association, which represents councils, said, "Community safety is a top priority, and despite significant funding pressures in recent years, councils continue to invest heavily on street lighting." She said, "We are pleased with the extension of the Safer Streets Fund, but its primary aim is to tackle persistent street crime and burglary. So while helpful to see increased funding for crime prevention measures, there needs to be a renewed focus on measures that would effectively tackle violence against women and girls." On the island, since the start of the Highways PFI contract in 2013, Island Roads have been working to enhance or replace all the 12,068 streetlights across the island to make the lighting brighter and require less maintenance. The lights have been replaced, according to a council spokesperson, on a like-for-like basis with energy-efficient LED lamps that reduce light pollution more reliably and efficiently. This has, the spokesperson said, enabled the council to make year-on-year energy cost savings and channel the money instead into frontline services. While some streetlights have been dimmed slightly at certain locations following a trial, they have not been dimmed in sensitive areas such as town centres or crossings. Another safety measure on island streets are CCTV cameras, which continue to operate from fixed positions, the council said. All the footage is recorded and kept for a period to provide evidence if needed. Despite cuts to CCTV control room staff in an effort to save money in the PFI contract, a weekly schedule of active monitoring takes place, with a contingency to increase it should the police request it.
This is an article from the Island Echo, read by Terry. Off the rails, Island line reopening delayed until further notice. A major scheme to improve the Island Line network between Ryde and Shanklin has been delayed once again, with trains now not expected to run until later this summer, with no fixed date given. The multi-million-pound project was originally meant to last just 3 months, with the line reopening at the start of April. However, it was then announced that the completion of the scheme had been delayed by 6 weeks until mid-May. South Western Railway now says that aims to recommence train services later in the summer season, which could mean the scheme will overrun by as much as 4 months, if not longer. The delays were previously blamed on the coronavirus pandemic, but the blame has now shifted to rolling stock manufacturer Viva Rail, who had been set to deliver all the trains to the island well before Easter. Serious and complex software issues mean the fully refurbished trains are yet to be delivered, although all trains have left the Viva Rail workshop. The Class 484 trains have been undergoing unsuccessful testing in the Eastleigh area of Southampton. The live testing has uncovered some serious issues in relation to the computer software adapted to utilise a third rail system. Planning and analysis did not highlight any issues, but the mainline runs have flagged up issues that require a thorough review, rather than just a patch. The infrastructure works are said to be on track, although the scheme was meant to have been completed 4 weeks ago. Even if the trains were delivered today, the track isn't ready to accommodate them. South Western Railway says that once the trains arrive on the island, they can begin the extensive process of operational testing, safety assurance and training required to bring them into service. But it's not clear how long this will take. One train is already here but has completed only a limited number of runs between Ryde St John's and Sandown. It's not thought that the train has passed through Ryde Tunnel or up Ryde Pier to date. SWR and Viva Rail are conducting a full review to build a strong programme in which all parties can have confidence, and will provide further updates on that programme in due course. Alex Folds, Major Projects Director at SWR, said, "We are as disappointed as our customers by this delay. Our infrastructure works are largely on track, but there is a delay to the delivery of the trains, and we apologise for the impact that will have on our customers and the communities we serve. We continue to work incredibly hard in partnership with our train supplier Viva Rail to reopen a safe, reliable and fully upgraded island line as soon as possible." Adrian Shooter, CEO of Viva Rail, adds, "As a company we take full responsibility and offer our apologies to the passengers and staff of the island line. It would be easy to hide behind COVID and point the finger at the pandemic, but we had in fact managed to claw back a lot of that lost time and brought the build back on schedule, and all trains have now left our factory. However, we have unforeseen difficulties with the software. Although in essence it is no different to the version we have used previously, it needed some changes to enable the train to run on the third rail. Planning and analysis began over 18 months ago and did not bring any problems to light, but the live tests have uncovered some serious issues. Our priority is to deliver safe and reliable trains, so I have instructed my team to undertake a thorough review, rather than try to patch the software. Although this is a difficult time, I would like to acknowledge also the help that we have had from our friends in the railway family. Bombardier allowed us to use their test track at Derby. Arriva have let us use their depot at Eastleigh, and Network Rail could not have been more helpful. Above all, the support from SWR has been invaluable. Their team of engineers and project manager have given us help and guidance throughout, and it is testament to their professionalism that we still have a robust testing, delivery and training program in place. We have a team of engineers on the island already working with SWR's depot engineers on Unit 484001 to ensure a smooth handover of responsibilities as the rest of the fleet begin to arrive. A rail replacement service will continue to operate as it has done for the past 4 months and will begin a 30-minute service from the 17th of May, doubling the capacity. Due to the ongoing roadworks on the Broadway in Sandown, buses in the Shanklin direction are currently operating via Perone Way and the Fairway. They are calling at 22 minutes past the hour at the back entrance to Sandown train station.
This is Den reading from On the Wight. Over 17,000 COVID-19 vaccinations given at St Mary's Hospital. The mammoth task has been a phenomenal team effort, where safety and efficiency has been the priority. Over 17,000 COVID-19 vaccinations have been given by the vaccine team at St Mary's Hospital in a matter of weeks as part of the biggest vaccination programme the NHS has known. The NHS COVID-19 vaccination hub at St Mary's Hospital has offered all NHS and social care staff, as well as other emergency services, organisation staff and key service personnel across the island, both doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccination to help protect healthcare services and those who care for others. A dedicated team of over 100 clinicians, vaccinators, administrative staff and volunteers have worked 7 days a week to ensure all groups are offered their first and second vaccine doses within the required timeframe. Mary Aubrey, IOW NHS Trust Chief Nurse, said, "We are all incredibly proud of what we have achieved over the past few months in getting as many people vaccinated against COVID-19 as possible. It really has been a huge team effort from everyone involved, and I want to say a sincere thank you to the team for pulling out all the stops in getting the vaccine to so many people. I am delighted that we have been able to vaccinate 85% of our staff, as well as many other people across the island. Over 17,000 vaccines given is an amazing achievement. A COVID vaccine is our best protection, and I would encourage everyone who is eligible to get vaccinated against the virus when they are invited by the NHS. Delivering the vaccine to many people in such a short space of time has been a mammoth task and a phenomenal team effort from everyone involved. Accurate planning and preparation, including the ordering and storing of vaccines and equipment, and organising staffing and training has ensured the process is efficient from start to finish." Vaccination lead Kay Marriott said, "A vast amount of work has taken place behind the scenes to create a seamless experience for people receiving their vaccine. Our priority has been safety and efficiency and making sure we use the vaccine supply within a time period and avoid wastage. The measure of a successful project is when people receive a well-led and super organised service. We have received so many wonderful comments and compliments, which serves as testimony that we have done just that and delivered a service to be proud of. The IOW NHS Trust wishes to thank everyone across the island for supporting the COVID-19 vaccine programme and helping to make a difference to everyone's lives in the future. The NHS in Hampshire and Isle of Wight is continuing to vaccinate people against COVID-19. More information is available on the website."
Moving farewell service for Bishop Christopher from the Isle of Wight Observer, read by Chris. The Archbishop of Canterbury, the Most Rev Justin Welby, praised the commitment of Bishop Christopher Foster to the island as he stepped down as Bishop of Portsmouth. He paid tribute in an address to the Church's General Synod ahead of a farewell service at Portsmouth Cathedral on Saturday, April 24th, marking Bishop Christopher's retirement. He said the bishop was well known for his diligence and pastoral care, adding, "One example is the way he has been deeply committed visiting to the Isle of Wight, which has involved spending a phenomenal amount of time on the fast cat, hovercraft and ferries, and a lot of time waiting for them. He was the complete expert at working every occasion, whether with 1,000 pupils at the island's church secondary school or at any number of small village schools or parish celebrations." The moving farewell service ended with applause from the congregation as Bishop Christopher handed over his crozier, marking the end of his time as bishop. He and his wife Sally now plan to move to Somerset. The Venerable Peter Leonard, Archdeacon of the Isle of Wight, was among those paying tribute. He said, "It is abundantly clear that Bishop Christopher loves and prays for his flock. We have heard much about his pastoral gifts and his care for the people of this diocese. Bishop Christopher's ability to connect with a wide range of people across age ranges, worship styles, different approaches to theology and scripture has meant that he has held together this diocese through some challenging periods, not least the last 12 months. Christopher, you have always been clear that this is never my cathedral, but always our cathedral. You have not been the bishop, you have been our bishop. Thank you for what you have brought and who you are." In his response, Bishop Christopher paid tribute to colleagues past and present, church and community leaders, and his family. He concluded, "There is much I leave undone and still to do. Where I have failed you or fallen short, I am sorry. Where we have grown in depth, impact and number, let's rejoice. Thank you all for helping me as we have tried together to build God's kingdom, and the coming of that kingdom is my deepest hope and prayer. The search for a new bishop has already started. Until an appointment is made, the area bishop of Edmonton, the Right Rev Rob Wickham, will help to lead the Diocese of Portsmouth, acting as a commissary bishop, taking on official duties and governance. The day-to-day life of the diocese will be overseen by the archdeacons. Portsmouth is one of only 2 Church of England dioceses to have no suffragan or assistant bishop.
Hello, this is an article from the Isle of Wight Radio, read by Sue. Major changes to Isle of Wight coronavirus community testing. Community coronavirus testing for people on the Isle of Wight without symptoms is set to undergo major change this week. From today, Friday the 30th, Isle of Wight council sites are closing in Yarmouth, Cowes, Sandown and Ryde. Instead, many local pharmacies across the island will become the go-to places for people without symptoms to access free, supervised testing on a regular basis. This service is called Pharmacy Assist and will be available from 16 pharmacies from Tuesday the 4th of May. This is a drop-in service, but anyone wishing to have a supervised test is advised to phone ahead and, where possible, to enable pharmacy staff to schedule appointments and reduce waiting times. Residents can find their nearest participating pharmacy by visiting maps.test-trace.nhs.uk. Sites will be live from May the 4th. Where can I collect home testing kits? Free home testing kits can currently be collected from participating pharmacies across the island. This service is known as Pharmacy Collect. People can also order online for home delivery. www.gov.uk/order-coronavirus- rapid hyphen lateral, spelled lateral, hyphen flow hyphen tests. Are there any other changes? County Hall Newport will be open all next week for supervised testing and collection of test kits. The County Hall site will close for good at 5 p.m. on Friday, May the 7th. From Saturday, May the 8th, New Close will become PCR testing again only. It will be open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Council's Director of Public Health, Simon Bryant, said, 1 in 3 people with coronavirus do not have any symptoms and so can pass on the virus without knowing it. Regularly, twice weekly testing for people who do not have symptoms is therefore a vital weapon in our armoury in the fight against the virus. Rapid testing on a regular basis gives us all peace of mind that we are not putting our family, friends, co-workers or communities at risk. And pharmacies offer a quick and convenient means of getting a test or collecting a kit to self-test at home. Make test record repeat part of your weekly routine to help suppress the spread of the virus and protect the people around you. Simon added, I would remind everyone that a positive result from a lateral flow test means you must self-isolate immediately and book a follow-up PCR test within 48 hours. If you have a negative result from a lateral flow test, you must still follow hands, face, space guidance. These simple behaviours and regular testing will help us keep infection rates down and getting us safely on the road to a summer of freedoms. Stay up to date with changes here. keeptheislandsafe.org/testing.
Hello, this is Lisa, CEO of Site for Wight, welcoming you to this week's Talking News. This week we have been busy parcelling up the newsletter and sending it out to everybody on Thursday. We also produce copies in Braille and audio form, as well as the usual large print and PDF. So if you would like to change the way you receive the newsletter, do not hesitate to contact us, and we can easily change the way that we send it to you. Also this week has been the first full week for our 2 new apprentices, Martin and Liberty. Martin has settled in very well into our IT systems and is already making his own mark on how we do things. Liberty has been showing her skills in producing a PowerPoint presentation for us on the Striders for 2019. Striders was hosted by the late Mel Barnes, who will be sorely missed, so we are busily looking to recruit a new person to be running this when we reopen in July. And therefore Liberty's presentation on all of the walks in 2019 has been very helpful in showing people where we have already been and the type and length of walks that we do. Also this week we have been pleased that primary schools are able to now allow us to plan when we can attend to deliver our education programme. Jasmine, our young person officer, has pulled together this programme, and it teaches children how they can adapt in small ways to help people with visual impairments and how they can protect their eyes for the future. Finally this week, we also tested the Alexa skill and telephone skill, which we are going to be sending out to members in May. This will allow the Talking News to be listened to on an Alexa device, a Google device, any phone, and of course the return of the USB sticks is planned for the end of May also for those who prefer this format. We hope you're all staying safe and enjoying the slightly warmer weather, although it is still quite unpredictable. The long May bank holiday weekend is upon us. Everybody please enjoy it but stay safe. Thank you, Lisa.
Skip News, week commencing Monday the 3rd of May. Yarmouth area, On the Rocks, Bridge Road. Freshwater area, 1 Court Road. Newport area, 78 New Street. Shanklin area, 12 Clarence Gardens. Ryde area, 7 Swanmore Road. Ventnor area, outside South Bank, Park Road. Bembridge area, 51 Stane Road. Scaffolding, Ride Area, 51 George Street, 183 High Street, 13 Esplanade. Newport Area, Guildhall, High Street, 2 to 8 Carisbrooke Road, Halifax High Street. Sandown Area, Trouville Hotel, Sandown Esplanade, Barnaby's Restaurant, Pier Street. Cowes Area, 31 Mill Hill Road, 72 High Street, Toby's of Cowes, 9 High Street, 5 Birmingham Road, 5 Castle Road. Shanklin Area, 77 Regent Street. Yarmouth Area, Grove Cottage, St James's Street, Bank House, The Square. Ventnor Area, Mirrormere, Hanbury Road, Blythe Cottage, Blythe Shoot, Chale.
Sight for Wight would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Talking News. We would also like to thank our volunteers for reading, and a particular thank you to the Isle of Wight County Press, Isle of Wight Observer, On the Wight, Island Echo, Isle of Wight Radio, and a special thank you to Vectis Radio.